good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you happen to be in this very blue orb in a vast sea of nothingness, sprinkled on the backdrop of little sparks that we call hydrogen stars that are in reality so massive and overwhelming that being in their presence would sear us to bits. But anyways, I delude. This will be a scene within the mage venue. We have three mages and another one are about to have a certain bit of crossroads and a confrontation of sorts and maybe a bit of repossession of different ideals. So in this case, we will go with Maggie.
Okay.
Tell us how you are waking up or how you are entering the scene.
Maggie wakes up sometime around 1 p.m. in the afternoon with a wicked hangover, a dry mouth, back of her neck itching. She wakes up and looks around and sees that she is in the break room of the garage that she works in. She sits up, looks at the garbage pail next to her, and considers her options of how she got there. But after a quick check to make sure that everything's the way she left it, that all of her stuff is in her bag, she thinks that it's probably safe to assume that somebody carried her home. So she gets up, gets a shower, gets some water to drink, and then takes a cab back into Manhattan to make her way back to her home within the Woolworth building, going up to the main floor, which she shares communally with the other magi of her cabal.
Okay.
And
Okay.
she'll just sort of
pinpointing that for a moment. Go over to Ken. You're the one I'm least familiar with the current situation with, so go ahead and explain a little bit what's happening to you.
It's a little after when Ken would usually eat dinner, but unlike his usual schedule at the moment, he's on the street. There's nothing in his temple strictures saying that he can't just kind of be out and about. There's no evening training that he happens to be skipping at the moment, but he doesn't usually take dinner outside the temple. But some stuff happened to him, some very momentous stuff actually, when you consider how his life was before and how it is now. And he just got re-upped on his stipend, so he is out getting some pizza. He hasn't had pizza in a while. In fact, he hasn't had pizza since he started his training. And at the moment, even though, yeah, you're not supposed to be attached to worldly things, he's about to attach himself to some goddamn pizza.
Okay. Fair enough. Tommy.
Well, Tomi, seeing as she has a habit of just sort of flopping between various different residences, unsure who she picked that one up from, one of the many paranoid mages that has served as her mentor during these past several months. But at the moment, she is on the top floor of the Woolworth building, in the penthouse suite that basically makes up her fancy little apartment. She is digging through the refrigerator and cursing to herself. Oh,
It's very interesting that you should mention Rupert. Go ahead and make a time roll. Like, just take your dots and time and roll it.
Ooh, okay. 3?
You remember him. But why it's important to you, you're not really sure why. But keep going.
She sort of stops for a minute. Sort of figuring that it's just a mixture of weird nostalgia from the events of the other night in the wardrobe. She continues digging through the fridge. She's coming to realize that maybe she used up all of those nice orange juice drinks Jericho gave her, and now she will have to deal with a hangover like a normal human being.
And in that case, we'll go back to Maggie and sort of roping her back in.
Maggie, sort of true to form, is somewhat loud as she sort of plops down onto the couch in the main area, sort of just dropping her bag down with a large clunk as she just sort of falls face first into the couch and grabs a throw blanket that's curled over the back and curls up and pulls one of those decorative pillows underneath her head. The Batman pillow. That's the one she picks.
From the kitchen, she'll hear, "Hey, Maggie."
Ma. Bring coffee, bring water, bring aspirin.
Tommy will bring all of these things before sitting down. I'm out of the awesome orange juice stuff.
New Year's was a mistake. She'll take the aspirin, throw it into her mouth, take the coffee, drink it, set it down, take the water, drink all of it down.
Tommy will sort of rub her head and sit down nearby. Yeah. Do you remember what happened after we even met up with Logan?
Like in general, or specifically a certain day or time?
Last night after we met up with him, I think one of our T-Rex suits popped. I don't remember.
I don't know where he went. I just remember that you got all cranky about your T-Rex suit being all messed up, and I was like, I'll get you another one, and then you said you had shit to do, so I went back to my apartment, got dressed up, and went out and called some people to hang out, I guess, last night. She'll look at her phone. Apparently Olaf, Ren, and Jade, of all people.
Nice, nice. I have no idea who I was drinking with.
Okay.
I think it was in Manhattan. Sorry, go ahead, Trent.
It's like, okay. I love this. I love this sort of flesh out the backstory. Where you're getting back down to this is my life and this is kind of messed up. But how are we gonna rope Ken into the situation?
I know how.
Go ahead, good sir.
So Ken has a certain understanding of which pizza places are the best ones. In fact, there was a place he was hanging around for like the better part of a month, and there wasn't a lot to do other than what he was primarily doing. But one of those other things to do was some badass pizza. It is pretty good, at least in his memory. He didn't have any, but people would always be talking about it. And now he's going to go enjoy some of it. This is for him. So he's got to go test that pizza out. He goes all the way down there. He doesn't grab a cab. He just kind of uses the subway in his wits. Gets down, finds one of the places that's open at this hour. And he he gets the pizza and looks at the Woolworth building and remembers that he had a fellow traveler on his amazing journey through realms betwixt and has no idea what happened to her. He kind of feels like a dick about this. So remembering that, well, he was able to go in there with her the once and not be murdered by the local defense systems, he's about to take his life into his hands.
And as he enters the Woolworth building, Maggie and Tommy, two very, very hungover young women, will hear the intrusive noise of the alarm on the computer in the penthouse suite start going off, and it's a very obnoxious beeping noise that repeats over and over again. Tomi eventually hoists herself up to look at it. God damn it.
You chose the alarm.
I didn't choose the alarm. I don't know how to change it. And
Maggie
she'll...
grabs a. Maggie will grab a remote control off of the coffee table and lean up over the back of the couch and take aim at the speakers.
Wish Rupert would have left me an instruction manual for the goddamn house, she says as she finally looks down at the screen,
Ooh, you said
mumbles.
that magic word again. Roll your time dots again.
Okay. Ooh!
Give me a minute to think about what that 10 means, but keep going on.
Okay. She glances down and she just kind of mumbles, "There's
Ouch.
reality deviant on the first floor. I gotta go get it." And
As you say that, the remote that she was aiming to hit the the speakers with, she kind of nails you right in the back of the head. It's like, oh shit!
ow! Fuck!
I-
As the remote clatters to the ground and the batteries fly under things and into the nth dimension, never to be seen again.
Actually, something else happens.
Okay.
The batteries of that let's just say they're two AA's. One of them seems to flick upwards, doing a twist and twirl, and it actually lands in your jacket pocket almost perfectly, like snug. And the other one actually gets propelled forward into the computer screen. Doesn't dent it or scratch it or anything like that, but pops it right back to Maggie.
Well, that's fucking bizarre. Tomi will hold on to the battery, though. 'Cause
Maggie's
And what is
looking at
Maggie
her
doing?
battery just in her hand.
Okay, we're good.
this isn't the first time bizarre coincidences have been way too important. So she's not gonna ignore this. And yeah, she will head back to the elevator and down to the first floor.
Maggie, go with her.
Okay, sounds good.
When the elevator doors open, actually, you know what? The elevator doors open to a place that normal people could get at this point.
Yeah. I mean, you have to get
Okay.
the password to make the elevator go anywhere, but you can see it. It's like right behind the reception desk. Let me pull up a picture.
We'll do. Okay, cool.
Do- Oh, feel free to keep going.
More than likely, it doesn't take long once they get to the first floor for them to see a familiar person with his phone in one hand trying his best with this archaic thing to text or at least scroll through a menu of some sort. And he's got that in one hand, he's got the pizza in the other, just trying his best to balance these two activities: delicious pizza, phone, delicious pizza, phone. And eventually he's going to look up because he is in kind of, at least with the normal people, it's a public-ish place, definitely a landmark. And see these people he's met before, actually. Oh, her.
Oh, good, you brought pizza. I'm starving.
Yeah. I came to check up on this one, and he nods towards Tomi.
Tomi waves. Hey.
You're okay?
A little hungover. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year. We got separated, and I don't know. It seemed like the thing to do.
She shrugs.
Things?
It's all good. I survived.
Yeah, me too. And he looks at Maggie. Dude, she's actually pretty cool. I don't know what you were on about.
Maggie just chuckles to herself. You don't know her like I know her. She put an
Um,
arm over Tommy's
yeah,
shoulders. I'm very, very, very fond of my Dark Lord of the Sith.
Ken shrugs. He seems a lot less twitchy than when both of you met him in separate instances.
Ah,
Tommy's gonna lean over to Maggie, whisper in her ear. I convinced him I was a technocrat the first time we met.
She'll just stop, look. You are an asshole.
She grins.
and almost as if by that one whisper, actually, they told me you hear very clear in your head at a gunshot. Only you hear this gunshot. It seems to be reverberating from a distant time.
Ow, ow, fuck. The two of them, even though they hear nothing, they'll see Tommy sort of grab the sides of her head and she'll lean back against the wall. She's momentarily deafened by the sound of a gunshot.
Blink, blink, blink. Grabs Tommy, shakes her a bit.
The hell was that?
The
She,
hell was
The
what?
hell? Yeah, what?
I heard she's gonna pull them into the elevator and hit the closed door button. I heard a
You
fucking
heard
gunshot.
you heard your mentor's pistol going off.
Shit. I recognize that sound. We need to go to the, whatchamacallit, what do they call a shooting range? Is there a word for that?
It's
Shooting
called a
range?
shooting range.
That's a shooting range.
We gotta get to the shooting range. Can, hit the 33rd floor.
He manages to hit the button for the 33rd floor with his now free hand. He put the phone away.
Okay.
And Tommy will, enter the password in the little keypad.
Okay.
Maggie reaches out, puts her hands on Tommy's temples, and slows her mind down enough for a brief moment of clarity, and rolls for a Mind 2 effect to create an empathic link with her. Just to
Okay.
get a read on her emotions.
Does Tommy have any mental blocking things going on right now?
She has a mind shield up, and assuming you didn't warn her about this, it'll probably resist it.
Okay. Maggie, as you're trying
Mm-hmm.
to impart this empathic link, you're actually stepping into, at least mentally anyways, what appears to be a very, very old world cathedral. Well, very dark, very brooding, very shadowy. As gargoyles from either side look at you apprehensively, they move slightly twitchingly, and deny your first access into this realm.
Through the... This is sort of a mental scape, I'm guessing?
Yeah. It's a purely mental construct.
Then she's not going to say anything. She's just going to project as best she's able a sort of sensation as I'm not here to do harm, let me in.
Meh.
Is Tommy feeling this? Does she know that Maggie is in her head space? Her brain meets?
You feel a presence you have not felt in many, many milliseconds.
Millisecond.
I think that's a yes.
Tommy will let her in.
Okay. Maggie, the gargoyles briefly notice you with contempt and scorn, but they turn their heads away to any of the other projecting noise as you're allowed entry. The cathedral doors open. You are stepping onto the soles of Tommy's head.
And she's just trying to read that state of mind that, like surface thoughts, emotional, some of that emotional state that Tommy's in at the moment.
You get a few interesting combinations of emotions. There are ones that you can easily recognize as a hangover, being like frustration, headache, why am I not in bed? And on top of that, there is a bit of tenseness swirled up in there with some nostalgia and a hint of sadness. A little bit more than you're used to feeling in Tommy.
Maggie's just going to take a hand, put it on the side of Tommy's face, and say, "Hey, what's going on?"
I don't know. It's just one of those days. I kind of missing people. Keep hearing shit.
Anything to do with what you heard before?
The gunshot, I heard a gun off, and I know it's one of the like pistols that Rupert keeps in the shooting range.
It's interesting. She'll pat the battery in her pocket. Somehow I think we're going to be going through a series of coincidental events today.
Again. Tommy looks down at her shadow, which, by the way, for those of you who I've not described it to yet, it is not Tommy's shadow, it is Jericho's shadow. And she's gonna sort of like step on it a few times. You know, you can just leave a note. Stomp, 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 stomp. Ass.
4:30, 4:31, 4:32, 4:33. Ding! You're provided with the concrete infrastructure of the shooting range with its many different lanes, for lack of better words. I know Bob will probably think of a better word. And there seems to be one individual here who seems to be familiar to the people here, except I don't think Ken. Ah, thank you.
Tommy, she'll step inside, see who this individual is.
You see what looks like to be a man, and it seems to have some medical bandages on the back of his head, leading over to his face, and what seems to be the trappings of a student, with what looks to be an outstretched gun in his hand when in practice firing stance.
Is this individual tall, wearing a trench coat, and most likely black? Under those bandages?
Unfortunately, no.
Is this the butthole that gave us intergalactic TV?
This is the butthole that gave you intergalactic TV.
Okay. Tommy will walk over. She's not going to just surprise him in the lane because he has a loaded gun, and Tommy at least knows the basics of, like, safety in these places. So she'll just wait at the end of the lane. She'll give it a few, like, knocks on the wall.
Bam, bam, bam. Earphones. Bam, bam. You know there's a light switch behind him, right?
Tommy will flick it a few times. Flick, flick,
Okay,
flick,
okay.
flick.
Down on the further end of the lane, there is a blinking little yellow light, indicating caution and someone behind you. Please be forewarned. Alright. The agent goes ahead and pulls his headphone, the safety headphones off onto his shoulder. I can see you.
Well, welcome to my chantry, ass. What are you doing in here? She has a smile
Practicing,
on her face, though. She's not, like, angry at him.
practicing. You know, I was never really good at this. Bam, bam, and but it's much easier to do this if you know the basics first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And there seems to be some sort of silencer on the top of the gun. This is a really nice piece. Damn. Where'd you get it?
It's Rupert's. He has some crazy tech. Have you seen the gun on the fireplace in the common room?
Oh, you said the magic word again. Roll your time. Okay. Okay. Now, as you're talking about Rupert, the gun in the intern's hand suddenly becomes his very, very personal pistol. Whether it is his personal pistol or not, it is incognito. As what seems to be the overlay of at least what looks like to be Rupert over, in some type of crazy mad glee in his eyes and his mouth, as you feel the presence of fire and explosions all around. In a place you are not familiar with.
When Tommy feels the fire and explosions and all that, the intern will see her sort of grab her head again, and she will lean back against the wall and sort of sit with her knees in the air. She'll be covering her head. Shit.
He ejects the clip. What's up?
I don't know. There's something weird going on today.
Define weird.
I'm not sure. I keep seeing shit and hearing shit, and it all basically has to do with Rupert. Feels like his fucking ghost is back to haunt me.
I'm gonna run an EDE scan real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah.
The intern goes out and pulls out what looks to be a Oh, actually, I've got this real quick. I got a prop. What looks like to be a Casco calculator. One's at you. One's at a few numbers. 9 cubed. No, 9 cubed plus 66. Can I put an exponential on that real quick? I can. Great. Fantastic. He goes ahead and keeps spiriting. And eventually what it comes down to, he says, nope, your EDD is negative. But there seems to be some temporal flux in your head.
Temporal flux?
Yeah. It's like, how to explain this? Not going too much into it. It's like something keeps pinging, not on the third axis, but on your fourth axis.
That's fucking weird. I haven't even done a lot with time lately. Do you know what might have caused it?
What is your understanding about probability?
Probability? Makes me think of Schrodinger's cat. Until it actually happens, everything's probable, right? Well, possible.
Okay, how about this? Jericho, the big guy. You know what his favorite thing to do was?
That blessing and the curse thing?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Did they ever teach you that?
No.
Do you at least have some basic understanding of it?
Not really. I think he, like, vaguely explained it to me once or twice, but I don't know. I guess I kind of forgot about it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it could just be that events from the past that are sort of spiraling to this one point. How to explain this? You know how something, you know the butterfly effect, right?
Yeah, the butterfly flaps his wings, there's a tornado, so, like, things are so random because you can't predict something like that.
Mm-hmm. What I think you might be experiencing may be an echo of something that happened in the past and is maybe trying to get back up to you. At least that's what I think it is.
Why would it be trying to get back up to me?
Mm. You doing anything spotty today?
I drank a lot last night, but I don't think I did any magic.
Mm.
She seems slightly unsure when she says that.
Well, maybe it's not something you did, but maybe someone in the past did something. That's also a probability. Like something from like before you were even born, someone could have set this up in motion.
So, someone in the past decided to give me weird visions of my mentor dying.
Eh, possibly.
What a dick.
By the way, I think your guests over there are sort of looking like they're sitting with their pants in their hands.
Oh, she, sort of gestures for them to come over. Intern, have you met Ken?
It's like, do. No, I don't believe you met, good sir.
Yeah, well, I'm Ken. Uh, you can tell this is not a guy with a lot of initial social skills, but at the very least, he's not finicky, he's not aggressive, he's just kind of there.
Okay, fair enough, good sir. How you doing, Ken? You in the know right now, or are you just sort of walking on the rim of the water, as it were?
Um, well, that's a great question. I'm awake, but whatever's going on with, well, these two. And as he kind of reaches out to gesture towards Tommy and Maggie, his sleeve moves just a bit so that a small ring of prayer beads is at least temporarily visible. But I really don't know them that well. I just came to check up on the one. We had a bit of a shared experience, and I was concerned.
Okay. You got a phone number there, Ken?
I have a phone number, yes.
Give.
Ken's learned long ago to just stop fighting this shit. He gives his phone number.
Okay. As you're saying the phone number, he goes ahead and punches it into his iPhone. Oh, there's a bleef and birdling stuttering. He's like, well, you check out. I'll call you if any new thing. Is that cool?
Um, Really depends what I'm doing at the time, but sure, I'll try to
Bastard
help you.
does not know what he just agreed to by giving him your phone number, does he?
It's like, shh, you. This is how I get my best agents.
Ken realizes he may have made an error here. Ken's awesome.
Tommy just smiles at Ken. She mouths the word reality deviant to him.
Ken doesn't look happy about this in the least, but
Tommy looks fucking delighted.
that's wonderful.
Now, actually, as he's looking at his phone, he actually traced back to a text message. So, remember I told you that you should invest in a speech and you didn't do it?
Yeah, it kind of bit me in the ass the other day.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm downloading the strategy guide as we speak. Hey, get someplace we can talk and relax.
Yeah, totally. Tomi will gesture back towards the elevator. How'd you even get the password, by the way?
I don't need the password.
She just looks at Maggie just looks at Tommy with sort of an incredulous look, or maybe one of bewilderment. The man brought us a box that gave us interdimensional TV.
She nods. More reality hacking, I get it. And into the elevator she goes.
I mean, come on, you don't think I created a back door to this system?
You made the system?
He's like, you remember the war we put up?
Yeah, that was in my house, though.
Exactly. I just replicated the same understanding, saying that you are the owner of this place, and therefore the same rules thus apply to it.
Did you give me new wards in the chantry?
It's like, I assume that's what he blew off of.
Nice. And to the 55th floor they go. And the 55th floor of the Woolworth building is basically a big, gorgeous lobby. This one is not as gold and gaudy as the lobby. This one is definitely more romantic gothic. You all know that you're in a Hollow One chantry at this point. It's kind of like a gigantic lounge area, almost like a big VIP section of a club. There's a bar on the other end of the room, in fact.
Okay, kid, go get me some coffee. Hey, Maggie, boot up the entertainment system. Tell me, get me up to speed about the current situation.
Maggie just punches the intern in his shoulder. I am not your friggin' apprentice.
Nor am I think, but you know what? Because you asked. And even though objectively no he didn't, Ken's just going along with this. He does look at Tommy on his way to go find out how to make coffee in this place. Can I smoke in here?
Please don't. Tomi gestures to the Keurig. You know how to use one of those?
I can figure it out.
Okay. Hot water goes in the top. Little coffee packet goes in the front. Close it before you turn it on. She gives him a thumbs up.
Simple enough for an intelligence 3 character. He manages. There is a point though that people who are using a Keurig for the first time get to, where they do look at this little packet in their hand and just go, how the fuck am I supposed to get coffee out of this? But he just does what he's told in the end, and coffee is in fact produced.
Creamer's in the fridge.
Ken gets the creamer. The coffee is made. He doesn't apply the creamer himself, but he sets it near enough the intern that if the intern wants cream with his coffee, he can have it.
That's a smart move, good sir.
Ken might have worked some odd jobs in his life that involve food service. He gets it.
Okay, what's the problem with the iron pages?
Okay. So, Tomi looks at Ken and Maggie. You guys might want to sit down because I'm going to tell you some crazy shit.
Maggie had already made it to sitting down.
Okay, so you know the one that you had the phone number for?
Who are you directing the question to?
The intern.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, I met up with that one here maybe about a week and a half ago, and he gave me the down low on this whole situation. They are definitely receptive of our help, but things are different than what your numbers came up with.
He's like, fair enough. Predictions change. Other things change. I've noticed that this thing always gets a little fiddly. Like when you introduce EDs and wise men into the mix.
Yeah, it's hard to account for rogue variables, I guess. Is that a thing, rogue variables?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Laughs. But, okay, so the deal with it is the Shabbat aren't actually expanding at the rate that it looks like they're expanding. The Shabbat are actually receding, and in fact, while they have a large amount of shock troops, they don't have a lot of real... Okay, so they have a lot of pawns, but they don't have a lot of kings and queens or rooks or bishops, you know?
Very apt description. Go ahead.
Is there a reason you're talking in code right now?
I'm not talking in code. That's what they're called.
Yeah, they're called Iron Phages, and they play with pawns and rooks and queens and bishops.
Iron Phages are vampires. Shabbat are bad vampires. Camarilla are good vampires. Keep up. He grins. But the big thing that they have that I was told about... Okay, so there's one Iron Phage who seems to have some sort of rudimentary, like, magical skills, and all the other Iron Phages have no idea how to deal with it. The one that I talked to mentioned there were a lot of wards and a lot of things hiding him and protecting him from them. So they can't find him.
Let me guess. It's something to do with a necromantic approach to reality protocol, or something similar to what I had to bust out previously at the restaurant, or do you not know?
Tomi shrugs. I'm not sure. I know that they have a lot of dark quint in them, but I'm not sure how they utilize that. And I'm not sure if those ones have special properties that let them use it to a better degree.
I'm really just asking to see because if I can like use the previous restaurant explosion as a sample case, I might be able to deal with it easier because it's a lot easier to deal with something you have a model for rather than having to explain the whole new situation.
I don't think it's probable that any of them know real magic or anything like that. So it's
come on, everything's magic. Look at gravity.
But they don't have the same control over it that we do. You know, they're already programmed in.
Fair enough. Fucking legacy code. Actually, no, scratch that. The legacy codes is in Bronx? Bronx? Or is it Manhattan? No, but Bronx. The legacy code's in the Bronx.
The other big thing, apparently there's something nasty in the sewers over there in Manhattan that not even the Iron Phages we know are willing or able to deal with. He said it was like a massive blob, like a giant war machine made out of a bunch of people.
Flesh engine?
Tomi shrugs.
Weird.
He just said that it was big and mean and they would need our help dealing with it. They probably need a lot of help. He said they considered going to the, what do you call them, moon beasts or rage shifters or...
Oh my god, the werewolves! Just use the word! The werewolves! Vampires! Werewolves! What's wrong with you?
Because everyone knows that vampires and werewolves don't actually exist. It's a misunderstanding of basic folklore traditions. And what they really are iron phages, which is a parasitical virus organism needing to sustain himself on the iron of the people. And were shifters are in fact just a little bit of weird coding that got programmed into a legacy DNA RNA subscript. And it's been passed down for generations and only plops up every once in a well, to create a bullshit furry thing.
Tommy shrugs. Works for me. Either way, we know what we're talking about, right? The guy's in Central Park. But apparently they have some underworld rivalry going on, so they didn't want to ask them. So they mentioned
I
it to
think it's a really bad idea to get involved with them. Don't you?
What, the leeches?
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
It's a
So
very bad idea. Go on.
how about we just don't?
Yeah, but the leeches have a lot of power here.
Just
When it comes to getting things done with people, having them on our side might be a really good thing.
or we just don't. Werewolves, they seem to be cool people. I don't like the idea of something that's dead munching on my neck.
Then
I like
don't
this.
munch on your neck.
Do you have any idea of what kind of powers they possibly have? I mean, are they able
Actually,
to just...
do you know what power we have? We can throw fireballs out of our hands. Like a fucking Hadoken.
And
And we just...
also, Hadoken is not a fireball.
It's a wave of chi. He's correct, actually. She's correct, actually. But anyways,
Okay, then I guess he can do a Hadoken. She points to Ken.
Actually, no, I can't.
you don't know how to do the button presses? I mean, I can give you a cheat. I can give you the code, the move list right now, man.
No, I'm fine with video games. I'm saying that
Hadoken's not that hard. She stands up and faces Ken as she pulls her palms together out by her hip.
now finally we have the nervous Ken back. He doesn't look happy about
Maggie,
the idea.
don't set my building on fire, please.
I wasn't going to set the building on fire.
The last person to do that was a fucking fairy, and you don't want to be one of those guys, do you?
Maggie just walks over to the bar and gets a drink and doesn't say anything.
Tommy
Well,
gives her a thumbs up.
ultimately, the interns are directing the voice over at Maggie at the bar without moving. Ultimately, yes, it is a leech problem. It's a leech problem that can boil over to all of us. Thus, which is why I like to think. Which is why, hey Tommy, thank you very much for doing this for us.
Yeah, no problem. On the bright side, the vampire himself said that he doesn't want us to go and take care of the whole thing. He just wants a little help that they can't provide for themselves, you know?
Okay, what do they need?
They want us to locate this rogue magic user. His name is Blix, and supposedly he's in the sewers somewhere in Manhattan.
Blix, Elix.
I think so.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get into the. God damn. And he says, sort of going over his head, flipping at his phone. Going, God damn, where's the fucking sewage? And I have to go into the sewage management office, see if I can get a bunch of blueprints, make this easier. Or then I'm gonna have to do the drone work. God damn it. Okay, fair enough. So they just want the thing that can crack this, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Well, I can make something for them. That'd be easier. How do you? Okay. What protocols do they use?
What?
What protocols? Does anyone know how a fucking leech does their fucking bullshit necromancy?
No idea. I haven't actually seen one do it. I've just heard about it.
Ken shakes his head.
Okay, this is gonna be fucking annoying. Okay,
You
okay.
want me to... He pulls out her phone. I can text him and ask? Can you encrypt a message?
Well, yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. That hard. Power up the PSX.
PSX?
Points at the entertainment system.
Oh, yeah. Tommy will go do that.
Okay, okay. Hey, left, right. A B, up, down, start. There's beep, beep, doop, 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 doop. Doop. Okay, go ahead.
Right. Tommy will type into her phone, and she will say, "How do Iron Phages do their necromancy and activate their powers? I'm stuck on a level in this game. ...
Hmm. It looks like he did something. We're not really sure.
Tommy speaks in code anyway because paranoia. Paranoia is the motto of the mage venue.
Okay, fair enough, I don't think I can do this kind of craftsmanship here. I kind of have to go back to my hyperpod.
That's cool, that's cool. Should we head back now?
He's like, nah, you guys stay here. Yeah, I can do this like on my off time. You guys can stay here for a bit. There's suddenly a very alarmed ring on the intern's phone. Goes and picks it up. Looks to you, Tommy.
What's up?
Tommy, do you believe I would ever hit a woman before?
Tommy looks confused at this random question.
Roll a wits
Probably
alertness.
not, no?
Okay. Do. You kind of notice half-heartedly, and you actually sort of tilt your head back for a moment, but you do realize the intern has just who punched you in the gut. And he's saying these words right now. I was never here. And
How? Fuck.
you get mind, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your mind real quick.
Okay.
Well, I should have been more civic, your rate score, but yeah, that's 1/6 is pretty good. Do.
There. 2 more dice.
Okay. Inside your mindscape, you notice something very important. Within the Dark Cathedral, beyond the gargoyles, you have a archive, a book of names and places and people. You notice that one of the books seems to have been checked out as it were, if such a thing can be even possible. This one holds the memories and records and feelings and acquaintances of the one called the intern. And it says, be back in a day. And suddenly there's a stranger in front of you that seems to have just punched you.
I'm gonna punch him back.
Okay. You want to do this thematically or roll?
Fuck it, let's just narrate it out.
Okay, okay. You punch him. Like, where are you going for? You going for a body shot, face shot? What you doing?
Tomi is looking to sucker punch him right in the face.
Okay, okay, okay. As you see, it would look like the bandage of someone sort of do with a number across it. Said, and a slight message. 24 hours. He backs up, waves everyone a goodbye, and attempts to leave.
Did he remove the memory from Maggie or Ken?
It's like, no, they're fine.
Okay. Maggie and Ken, you're seeing Tomi going to try to tackle the intern. Like, he just offended her a lot, and she's gonna beat the shit out of him.
Her house.
Wow. Maggie's gonna sort of jump over the couch and grab a hold of Tommy.
Tomi will sort of thrash a bit. Be like, what the fuck, Maggie?
Why are you attacking the intern?
Did we hire this guy?
Go ahead and make a willpower roll, difficulty 8. Tommy.
Okay. Yes, actually, 1.
He seems he's someone that you've seen before, but he's more like an acquaintance than anything else. A lot of stuff is just hazy as all hell, but that guy did just punch you.
Tomi will sort of relax a little bit because she's allowed acquaintances into the building before. When did we hire this guy?
We've known him for months. She'll look over at the intern. What did you do?
Yeah, what did you do?
You'll figure it out tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Click.
Wait, no. Maggie's gonna sort of put herself in between Tommy and the intern.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something we're figuring out tomorrow. Did you just do something to Tommy?
I just saved myself and yourself of a whole lot of problems. You have a guest coming in. Beep. He says, attempting to open the door and leave.
You know, if you keep messing with people's internal balances, you're all going to end up on the ground.
Assuming he knows the passwords, he can get down to the ground, no problem. The building will not attack him.
It's like, and that man gets a cookie. As the intern has left. And I'm going to allow you guys a little bit of time to talk and commemorate before the next scene happens.
Ken looks at Tommy. My best guess. You just got mind fucked.
That little ass.
Seems to be a really troubling pattern with you guys.
Maggie just looks over her shoulder at Ken. Not the time. Not now.
That's why you need mind shields. I guess better than
It
what
is.
I have, apparently. She sticks a finger in her ear and kind of wiggles it around a little, as if it'll get the magic out. Ugh.
Alright, sit down. Maybe I can tell what he did to you.
Do you mind if I make myself a cup of coffee?
Tommy knows that it'll be back in 1 day, right?
The message is everything. I got it. PC restoration in 1 day. Memory restoration in 1 day, or RAM restoration and other to do technical trappings.
She shakes her head a little. Some fucking code bullshit. I think he said he'd give it back in a day. Why the hell would he do that? She rubs her head again.
Son of a
Now I'm
bitch.
hungover and there is stuff missing from my brain. Awesome.
Maggie's going to place her hand on Tommy and roll a life effect to at least get rid of the hangover for Tommy.
Sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
Also, make a rite for a mind effect, if you will. Oh, since you want to kind of read what's happening.
Ooh, it's way too many dice. 2 successes.
Okay. The gargoyles from before in the cathedral are confused and alert, as what appears to be a scuttling figure has just made off with a tome as he flies past you, leaving the situation of undetermined its origin or result.
Can I stop him?
Yeah, sure. Here, you can sort of wave him over for a bit, or even run with him, as it were.
She'll just reach out, and if this is a mindscape sort of thing, I guess what she projects as her own magic sort of just kind of is there, right?
Yeah.
She'll just throw out sort of like a bubble of force to stop his momentum.
Okay.
Pull him back to her.
Okay. The figure still seems to be in the running motion, but much like a moonwalking, or as if you just took a gift and sort of moved it back a bit. And as you will see, and with similar trappings to the intern with the band, and a very scared and worried look on his head, work on his face with a book underneath his arm.
Give me the book.
He's coming. No time.
Who's coming?
The reality mobsters. Shh.
Which ones?
No time. Warnings. All the warnings. You didn't listen.
You're essentially raping my friend's mind. Now, tell me what's in that book. Tell me who the people are that are coming after it, or I'm going to burn you alive in that bubble.
He sort of takes the book in his hand and opens it up to a certain page, and then shows you what looks like to be a picture of the moon, as it were, and of a technological marvel of a base. Best this not be in your keeping.
Shit. And she'll snap her fingers and let the bubble go.
Very good idea investigating, by the way.
Should I, and she'll point to her own head, give you that part too?
If you wish. Safer.
God damn it. Proceed.
And the figure sort of reaches into your head, or at least the forehead, and pulls out what looks to be a CD disc. It's with the a phrase upon it intern.
She'll shake her head, looking at. Let me ask you: was the tome sort of based off of Tomi's paradigm?
Yes.
Then you'd be kind of pulling like a mind crystal out of her head, kind of like a la Never-Ending Story 2.
Okay, that works for me. Like, I will keep the treasures. I will be back in a day. He is coming. They are coming. Stay quiet.
When Maggie pulls her hands away from Tomi, she sort of falls back onto her ass onto the floor, shaking her head.
Tommy looks at Maggie. What? Did you get the book back?
Huh? What book?
The book he swiped out of my head.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
One thing, both Maggie and Tommy have a cup of coffee within reach. It's not so close that they could very easily knock it over, but it's there and it's obviously for them. Ken is also drinking a cup of coffee. He seems to have taken some liberties with Tommy's stores.
Are you feeling better? She says as she's kind of like shaking her head to one side.
Still weird. Still fucking weird.
Yeah, me too.
No idea what's going on today, dude.
It's like I popped in there and all of a sudden everything was hazy. So why are we on the lounge floor?
Because the lounge floor has a balcony, obviously.
Maggie's just going to pick up her coffee, fill it with sugar and cream, stir it, and walk out onto the balcony.
Do me a perception alertness then.
Tommy follows.
Then you also do me a perception alertness then.
Ken follows.
Likewise with the other two. And I'm going to set this at difficulty 8.
Nope. Nerp.
1 success.
Okay.
1 success.
Okay. Between the two of you, I'll count that as 2 successes as a very silent shape, almost stuck in the air, as it were, of you'd swear it would be a billboard of a helicopter. But as it comes closer and closer, you realize that it is in fact a moving helicopter that is making currently no noise.
What the fuck? I'm going to actually use some DAT correspondence that I learned and extend my senses out into the rest of the sky. I'm going to combine it with matter. Are there any other helicopters like this?
Go ahead and roll it.
1 success.
This seems to be the only helicopter in motion right now. And in fact, I'll give you something else. Are you familiar with avionics or technology? Actually, you have technology, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Go ahead and roll pedestrian technology at a difficulty of 5.
I don't have any technology. I have academics, I have science, I have crafts with a specialty in vehicles.
Crafts, vehicles, difficulty 5. That's a good one.
Okay.
It's wits plus crafts. There we go. Difficulty 5.
Oh, damn. Oh, wait, that's a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Okay, good job. And with those double 10s, you definitely deserve this information that I'm about to give you. The helicopter, your blades are moving, but do you understand that helicopters typically produce, like sound, because it's a whirling engine? But this one seems to not be producing noise and seems to have a very interesting modification towards the rotator blades. You also notice that this seems to be a military vehicle that currently has no armaments on it. It seems to be plated in armor and he seems to be approaching you. Seems to be for VIPs.
Oh shit, this looks bad. Maggie, she's gonna sort of tug Maggie and push her back inside. Tommy is also going to go back inside.
Ken follows.
What?
And she's gonna lock the balcony, the big glass doors that balconies have. She's gonna lock that behind her.
It's specifically designed to withstand hurricane blows, as it were. How about that?
Sure.
Okay. And I'm gonna give you like 30 seconds of talk.
Are you expecting a fight?
Not sure. I know Rupert had a lot of run-ins with the technocrats, and there have been a lot of black helicopters in the skies lately. This doesn't look good.
And Maggie's grabbing a hold of Tommy and Ken by the jackets and just dragging them towards the stairwell.
Away they go.
There is no stairwell, there is only an elevator.
Then the elevator it is.
Ken politely puts his coffee cup down on the way out. He doesn't want to just take her ceramics with him.
Okay,
Where
okay.
the hell are we going?
Away from here.
Do me a
I'm
favor
not
and
leaving
then
this
do
place
me.
behind.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Keep talking. Keep talking.
I'm not leaving this place behind.
Well, they told me to make
He's gonna
friends.
stop and just look at Tommy with a pleading voice or a pleading expression. We can't stay here.
If we
Why?
lose them and I make the right phone call, I think I can help you.
Ken, do you know Harold?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I do.
Let Harold know that there's some shit going on in the tower.
Yeah, I got it. And, he texts Harold.
I'm not running from this shit, Maggie. If you want to run, that's fine, but
I can't run without you. You know that.
then stay here with me.
You're such a pain in the ass.
She grins. So are you.
She'll put an arm over her Tommy. Yeah, shut up. And she's gonna text Morgan, being like, "Stuff's happening at our chantry or our tower. Bad things.
Okay,
Send
okay.
help, preferably not Connor."
Okay. I think I've allowed you enough brevity to the situation. There's a hot tense. We gotta go. Oh no, I must say, we gotta go. Oh, I'm only running if you run with me. I'm staying. Crap, I'm staying. That very intense moment as outside there is a ladder drawn out. A small figure seems to climb down it. The person's hair seems to be in a ponytail, rather longer than it should be, in a not combat fatigue, because that'd be over ridiculous, but certainly pants that would lend itself to a combat fatigue idea, and a rather close protecting shirt. It scans the area briefly with its head and eyes and arms. Makes a gesture upwards as a man in a business suit actually appears before the window.
Maggie's pulling out her orange whistle.
Tommy is rolling up her sleeves. Cracking
Ken
her nuts.
also rolls up his sleeves.
The man will go to the window and tap. Hello? Repo?
Tommy will approach the window.
Maggie's right behind
Who
her.
is this?
I'm the accountant. I'm looking for one, He pulls out a clipboard. Damn it, asshole. Oh. Mr. Arnold goes by the name, you may know him as, Mr. Rupert.
He's not here anymore.
We know, he's dead.
So why are you looking for him?
We're here. How much? Looks at you both. Let's see. How much do you know? What is your relation to Mr. Michael Arnold?
He's my dad.
Well, do you know your dad has done a lot of, well, improper things over the years?
I know he's an asshole, but I don't. What kind of things?
Well, I hate to break it to you, sweetie. I mean, it's never easy hearing about the crimes of those that beloved us or we beloved. But I do believe Mr. Michael Arnold has been creating something of a crime circle for him here in New York City. It took us a bit of time to actually find him, but we believe that he is currently in 1,000 different little pieces, and we are currently here to repossess a few of his items, as it were.
What items?
Let's see. He had a number of bank accounts addressed to what appears to be his mistress, and the current tower you're sitting in, actually. Look!
Yeah,
This is
fuck
all
you. This
rather.
is mine.
Look! This is rather all. Do 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 do. This is all rather complicated, and it's sort of awkward for me to talk about this outside. Alright, can we come inside for a little bit of coffee?
You promise you're just coming in to talk?
It's like, I promise to.
Tommy, no.
I'm going to perception empathy the accountant.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't believe you. I'm not even perception empathy. I don't believe you.
Okay, Ken. This man before you seems to be a man who is just not off duty, but seems to be having to partake in a rather ugly business is he rather not have to do. He's like, yeah, this is really awkward, but it's my job. I gotta do this. I hate to do this, but yeah.
Huh.
He's like, look. Look, we can go about this amicably as it were. I'm just here to repossess an ex-syndicate its criminal procedures.
What's a syndicate? She looks confused.
I do, and he sort of clicks over his notebook. I don't really have much information on the lot of you. Did you? Here's something. Something. Did you know a man by the name of Mr. Mortimer?
No.
Oh, okay. He may go by a alias now. No, I'm not really sure.
Never heard the name before.
And Tommy and Maggie, do me a willpower check, difficulty 8. This is something that is reflexive on you. Nothing. He's not actually producing a spell right now.
Maggie's in the middle of producing a spell, by the way.
I know. I see it. Okay. Let me check out Tommy real quick. Let's see. I see a 10
Potentially
there.
1 success.
Let me see real quick. Like, I hate that the thing goes. Okay. Within your head, Maggie, there seems to be a reverberating crystal slot with no crystal in it. And for you, Tommy, the bookcase rattles a bit, but nothing of substance come out. And you're both reminded of a day.
Do we know that he's in our head right now?
He's not in your head. This is something that you who are reactively understanding.
Tommy shakes her head. You're not getting my shit, so get out of here.
Look, I really don't have to call authorities on this, but it'd be really, really nice if we could just all just part ways. I would hate for them to have to come in here and actually do some seizing.
Hey, Trent.
Yep.
So those 6 successes that I had built up on those 3 Arete rolls, that 4th Arete roll was a straight botch.
Ow. Okay, 1 second, real quick. How to explain this? Okay. You're going to take 2 points of paradox, And you are suddenly going to glow like a motherfucker. As several different pane panels of glass suddenly just burst out, and including this one actually.
God
Actually,
damn it, Maggie.
dangerous as always. Always. These reality terrorists, as he says, complimenting to his young protege, they just don't know where their power is. Just like Michael, the damn reality terrorist.
Maggie's sort of
Glares at
sitting
him.
there
You're a
shaking her head.
technocrat. You're a technocrat. She'll just say it straight out.
Well, I certainly believe that a bit of understanding understanding in science should indeed lead the way, as it were.
Maggie is gonna sort of, as she hunches over, sort of holding her head after the paradox, she's gonna pull out her phone and text. She's already texted Morgan. She's gonna text the only other person she knows, because somebody entering into the hangout just reminded me that yes, I know this person.
Do me a
You're
favor
a
and
technocrat and you're looking for reality deviants. She looks at him, right?
One second. Maggie, do me a favor and do a what's plus technology. I need you to get 2 successes, and to respond to Tommy.
I don't have any technology.
Oh, then just do it at difficulty
I
7.
got computers.
I'll give it to you there. Here, do difficulty 7 with Swiss computers.
Dropping a willpower point.
Okay.
2 successes.
Okay. You realize that there seems to be a scrambling effect. Like you have a very basic connectivity, and you also realize that sending any information will take a complete turn. And by complete turn, I mean it's going to take some time.
God damn it. This guy's already ousted himself as a technocrat, right?
He said that he believed that certain sciences and reasoning should lead the way. Okay?
He also used the term reality deviant, didn't he?
He used the term reality terrorist. Technically right. Look. I'm not here to not here to step on anyone's toes. Here I am simply here to reclaim what is the syndicates from a rogue location of ours that decided to go and blow himself up. It has taken quite a bit of time, quite a number of resources, but here, months later, where I am finally here.
And it's ours.
You do not understand. That used in a criminal organization or enterprise, when it is found out, it is seized by the local authorities, the state. 8.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm saying fuck you, it's ours.
And I'm saying that the police have been informed that this is the office of one Rupert, who happened to have a lot of undue dealings. Now, I don't want them to come up here. That would just make things messy.
Are you seriously trying to blackmail us in our own home?
My own home.
Our own home.
Maggie's gonna step forward.
Voice there, buddy.
The person known as the calendar sort of clips his fingers a bit, and there seems to be a briefcase folded out from him. Can we sit down? There's a lot of paper we have to go over.
Look, I don't want to get violent here. You obviously don't want to get violent here. And I don't like the technocracy in my building. So how are we going to solve this problem?
how are we going to solve this problem? Oh, well, I guess I can look over a few different Tresques. I mean, I did inform the FBI that I would take personal investment into this, since it was my old partner that, well, fell.
You were Rupert's partner?
To a degree, and I consider his fault to be my own personal fault. The man I knew from many, many years ago, I would never conceive that he would just blow himself up in the warehouse. It deeply offends me, and causes me great distress.
You don't sound that distressed.
I'm not allowed to sound anything when I'm at work.
Let's say that we let you take what you want out of here. Does that mean that you would leave us alone?
It's like, well, the building itself is the property of the state now, but I think we can work something out, as it were.
I want to keep my building. I want to keep all of my shit right where it is. Can we work something out where that happens?
Well, he does a little bit of thinking, brings his hands up to his chin. It would have to do a bunch of thinking, as it were. But may I be allowed inside, as it were, so that we may talk and bring paperwork to bear?
You got a nice balcony out there with a pretty good view. We could bring you some chairs.
A balcony covered in shattered glass. She gives Maggie a very unamused look.
Shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens. You try to blow up this guy. This random asshole.
You don't know what I was doing.
Well, I guess any kind of place with like a table space and some pen or paper will do. Well, infinitely better. I mean, we do have this awkward situation. Although I am authorized to lease these few properties since I am the controller of such. But such ugly business. What orphans are left behind when madmen go out.
Tommy crosses their arms. He was my friend too, you know.
Fair enough. I don't want to step on anyone's toes here or anything like that.
Bullshit, you're technocracy.
You're trampling all over my feet by trying to take the last memory I have of my dad. Fuck you.
And yet I say again and again and again and again, what we want and what it is in reality, the situation are two at odd ends. And look at
Out of
any
character, Trent.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maggie's got that whistle in her hand, and she's seriously considering using it on this guy. She does have, I believe, merits. She has common sense.
Let's see. He's not done something overtly hostile. Hell, he does seem to want something, but is unwilling to go with force to do it.
Maggie's gonna lower her hand a bit and not take the whistle to her mouth and try and blow this guy or make this guy's head explode. She'll simply look back over her shoulder, or no, she's gonna keep her eyes deadlocked on this guy. Ken, go find some chairs and a table, and bring a broom.
Somewhere in the back of Ken's mind, he wonders at what point he became like an employee here. But at the same time, this really, I don't even need the common sense merit to realize this isn't the time to quibble. So he goes and gets the chairs and the broom, probably thinking to himself about how it is at what point in which he became a monk that this was his life now. Like most monks hang out in monasteries and they preach and stuff. But Ken hangs out with reality mobsters and watches glass explode and then cleans it up.
Indeed, indeed. And the man and there is just going to calmly and firmly just wait outside. The people out on the balcony can do me a perception plus technology roll.
I'm going to take computers.
Mm,
Tommy doesn't see anything.
it's
Or
like,
is computers a
this is
no-go?
not something that has to do anything with computers. It does have to do with like science, if you got it.
I got nothing, so...
I do have stuff.
Wow.
Okay, you're gonna get something special.
I got one success.
Wow. Okay. You do notice that the protege, the diminished figure, seems to be scanning you both with not with a tool, but with her eye, using almost a rhythmic pattern. Maggie, that woman, that diminished figure over there, it's a woman, and she's giving you the "come fuck me" eyes.
You know, that's just not fair. What's her appearance score?
Yeah. If you look more and more at her, she seems to be of Russian descent, and with a sort of country girl or homely look, with no particular makeup, but a strong, determined eyes and face, and posture, as it were.
Damn. Oh, Maggie's just gonna kind of give her a wink. Suddenly, Maggie's demeanor's completely changed for one apparent reason or another, but she gives the DTF smile and a wink to the intern of this guy.
As the protege is scanned, and no one looks at you, blinks, blinks, blinks. And do you have Morse code? What do you have, or do you have it?
Morse code?
Yeah. What kind of skill would that be? Would that be academics or throwing out to the field?
Survival, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Do me perception survival.
I don't have any, so.
I got a success.
Okay. It takes you a bit of time, but what is getting across to you is that if you is like the words really simple. Okay. Hit him, I hit you. There's an implied if before that.
I'm gonna roll a perception and alertness. Is she carrying any weapons on her?
Let's see. She seems to be favoring her right arm a bit, yet whenever she's sort of scanning the lot of you. And her left leg seems to have a particular bulge across it.
This is what Maggie's gonna do. She's gonna have Ken set the table up so that way the edge of the table that the technocrat has is outside of the door, and the edge that Tommy sits on is inside the door. The chair is going to be set up across from each other, and Maggie is going to step outside and walk next to the other person, cross her arms, and just look her up and down. Neutral footing.
The woman, as it were, or the Minish woman, sort of lets you kind of flank her for a bit, and then the man in front of her says, "It's okay, play by their rules." As the woman is sort of very agitated and tense, but allows a little bit of this as she goes ahead and goes inside, as it were. Is that allowed?
No, you can. You and I are going to sit right here while those two make a deal. And if you go for that, whatever you've got on your hip over there, I'm grabbing you and we're both going over the edge.
Okay. Interesting. Do.
And then she'll lean over and whisper, "By the way, totally giving you an out if you want to find a broom closet. Just saying."
There's a slishing noise from her right arm as a knife just appears to do a front of it right in front of your face. And as you notice, her right middle finger seems to be missing as the blade just goes ahead and feels this place of where that middle finger should be.
Out of character, so that's what happened to Andre's fang dagger.
But she more or less complies and takes a step over to the railing.
Why you gotta be so cold?
Because her heart is literally made out of aluminum tubing.
Okay.
Maggie's just gonna give Tommy the thumbs up.
All right. Let's hear your deal, accountant.
How awkward the situation I find myself in. Well, currently around the department, as it were, we seem to be without a certain expertise in a very certain key area of our administration, particularly within our EDE department. Those guys are always flighty anywhere. Ever since Moonbase 1 decided to, ever since the disaster at Moonbase 1. And tell me, go ahead and make a willpower check again.
Okay.
Same difficulty for each. Okay, 2 successes. The idea behind Moonbase 1 being particularly important, the phrase EDE before, you've heard these things before at some time, linked to something, but it's like the page is missing from the book. And again, the phrase, in a day.
You're looking to turn this place into a technocrat base?
No. That'd be just physically ridiculous and would be beyond the scope of our current agreement. I just have certain tasks that would be better suited to people outside of my department.
All right.
So I guess what you can say is I'm looking for a consultant outside of the whitelist, as it were.
You want me to be a mole?
Such an ugly term, and I would never ask you to do something like that. That would just, that is something I don't believe you would ever agree to. Although, if you are...
I hate us so much.
It's like, hate is such a strong word. Misguided, foolish, slightly irritated. Much as if an older brother would look at a younger brother and see him playing with fireworks and keep telling him, no, that's dangerous, don't do that. And yet he fires it out anyways. Causing him
Brother doesn't kill a younger brother.
as you wish, is to take that interpretation. It's like, do. But people are people, and organizations are organizations, and indeed, there are radicals, as it were. Are there not radicals within your own organization?
Tommy nods.
So
All right.
why do you do us the discredit in accounting the radicals of our possession to each one of us?
Because you do the same to us. You're
And yet,
sitting here assuming we're terrorists.
I assume that you had a connection to a known reality terrorist, and we're speaking right now. Oh,
So what is it you want me to do? Like, plain terms.
plain terms, what I want and what I think you will deliver are two different things. What I want is do writes down something on a piece of paper. Passes it over the table and says, "Only for your eyes, since you're the speaker here." Do you look down at the paper?
Tommy's going to glance over at Maggie, like, be ready for anything. But she'll look at the paper.
And he gives a rather brief interpretation. The exile of all EDEs inside New York City.
You want all the reality deviants to leave the city.
No, that's not what I said. You are misinterpreting. You are a person. You are very much a person. You just happen to see things in a brighter light. You're on a level with the rest of us. You are, to use an adequate term of your own self, awake, out of Plato's cave. Now, there are certain things inside the city which are not us, not human.
What does EDE stand for?
Extra-dimensional entity.
Oh, like spirits?
Spirits here, spirit there. Yeah, well, we broadly provide it as anything that isn't human.
So, like,
Genocide.
vampires.
Yes, those midichlorian infected individuals that have long since expired as the wormic influences from beyond the place of our understanding has crept back in. They are walking corpses.
How do you expect me to be able to get rid of them?
I didn't say that you would be able to. I'm saying that's what I deeply want in my heart of hearts, and what I expect you to deliver are two different things. That's the big picture. Let's go back to the small picture, if we will.
Alright.
There is currently a one-time event happening about right now. Actually, this is almost a perfect explanation of what that would be appropriate for your understanding. Somewhere around here, I don't know exactly where, it seems to be connected with yourself, as actually due to the interpretations of our probability drives and to do forecasts and other such nonsense, which are mainly not understood. You have been someplace that will currently see a resurgence of a being that we would really wish not to see awake.
What being is that?
I'm not sure. It's something from a place we like to call a junkyard. Heard something from a extra-dimensional pinpoint connected with our telecommunications services.
I'm not following.
He blinks over his head. Oh, right. Some bit of terminology differences, he says, and pulls out a notebook, sort of flips it. There is a window, apparition, inside of a place that you have been to before. This window apparition is connected to a place you guys like to call video game land.
A Winyan. Can you write the word down?
He writes down the word that looks like a Wendigo, video game land, and apparition, and other such nonsense. It's really not exactly my expertise, which is why I'm having such a hard time with it.
So you want us to help you take care of this thing?
Indeed.
The technocracy is asking us for help?
I'd rather not let the actions of one individual, such as myself, reflect the actions of the entire thing as a whole. I don't believe that would be very beneficial.
You'll have to. Will you report all this to somebody?
He's like, say that again, actually?
Are you gonna have to report all of this to somebody?
Well, any such agent of myself certainly has to make reports of one kind or another, but what is in those reports, actually I like to take a phrase to the military. There is one thing you say to the media, there's another thing you say to the sergeant, and then there's what's actually fucking happened.
So to get this thing done, you're willing to lie to other technocrats?
If it has to be done, so be it. I would not risk certain resources of mine on something a task I could easily outlend. And since I have to be in possession of some resource that you would like, or at least some leverage here on both our fronts, to use the cop phrase, you scratch my back, I scratch your back.
So
Maggie's going to actually sort of not really shout, but just sort of look over at Tommy. Bullshit. We have to trust that he's not going to screw up somewhere and have his higher-ups come down on us.
and he's got to trust that we don't have a million of us ready to kill him right now. What guarantees we can trust you?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Such prudent questions determine your intelligence, as it were. Now, as for the criminal Michael Arnold, he says, pulling out his briefcase, shuffling a few folders out, and it seems to be almost unusually placid today, actually. Like, you expect some wind and some cold interference from the air, but that seems to have been white ladies of were. Not an important situation, as the scene very much feels like a courtyard, as it were. Her brings out some papers, and everyone here give me sort of like a perception awareness.
You know, I've got so many of these damn perception things, I'm empowering my mind.
Okay,
Do you
fair
have
enough.
some willpower on this?
You know what, fuck it, yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
So I am taking my perception up to 5.
Okay, fair enough. let's see, 2. You notice the papers on this papers that he's pulling out are connected in points in time and space. It's the papers. The papers are magical in some way.
Tommy looks up at him. What do these do?
These are the confiscated materials, residences, and other such knickknack and accounts of one Michael Anderson, and the criminals that were. And since all of these properties and accounts have been used in criminal activity, they have been seized by, well, the state, as it were. And since I am a confidant of the state, I can, well, relay them to people as they will if they are assumed to be, well, inclined to help at my own discretion. He says, and actually, this particular building, he brings out a paper that seems to identify the Wildworth building, can be handed over to you.
Does that include all of the assets in the building?
Let's just say I won't have to repossess those as long as we all play nice.
Alright.
That empathetic link between Maggie and Tommy's still going, as far as I know, right?
Yeah, sure, that works for me.
From everything that she's gathered from what the agent here has been saying, is that he wants information on all the other reality deviants in the city, because he wants to eventually see them exiled out of the city, correct?
No, unfortunately, that is a misconception. Replace reality deviants with anything that's not human.
Right. So Maggie's just going to start throwing emotional ties that she has with, like, Logan, Julian, Olaf, pretty much
You're
everybody.
bringing up Julian? You want Tommy to remember how much she fucking hates the changelings right now? That's what you want?
There are other people in there too. Stop being.
He's giving you the sense of community these otherworldly things have imparted to you. Go.
Alright, what do I roll to cut the empathetic link?
You can reinforce your own mind and say, fuck you.
I'm gonna do that. No, I fail.
Okay. Hey, the connection is still there, but Maggie, you just realized that she just tried to cut ties with you right there.
Oh. Maggie takes a really deep inhale, and she'll just shake her head. How many people are you going to have to sell down the river to do what he wants?
Are you saying this out loud? Oh, you're saying through the mind link?
Sure, the mind link.
Like,
At
okay,
the moment, the deal is to investigate something in video game land.
something connected to video game land.
Yeah.
We can't trust him.
I have a
That's
question.
why I'm trying to see if there's a way we can. Stop fucking with my brain and let me do this.
I like to imagine that this is actually this conversation to be said inside the Galactic Cathedral, as what looks like to be a figure of Maggie and a sort of is Maggie more of a knight or a scholar?
Is she more of a what?
A knight, as in the medieval knight, or more like a medieval scholar?
She'd probably look more like a frickin' oracle, I guess.
Okay. So it looks like to be a person in white robes with some pagan trappings, or is on the balcony, just shouting down to what looks to be a figure or that is trying its hardest to be a dragon. Actually, no. A dragoon. Okay. That happens to be the embodiment of Tomi within inside her mind. Gesturing wildly, we can't trust him. The dragoon saying I don't know if we have a choice or not.
Tommy, what is this over? A building?
It's over my home.
This... Tell me, if you do this, how far down does that rabbit hole go? We could end up selling people down the river that we care for.
That's why we need a deal and exact words as to what's happening. No loopholes to let that slip through.
I'd like to imagine that behind the dragoon there seems to be an embodiment of the accountant, not as he is in real life, but as a demon inside a summoning circle. Because I find this amusing to myself.
Did he just pop himself in there?
No. Mental constructs.
Okay. Tell me you can't do this.
Tommy looks at the technocrat. What guarantees we can trust you?
Let's see, that black helicopter out there behind me, I didn't exactly sign it out.
Tommy's going to pull her sunglasses down and take a peek at his aura to see if he's lying.
Okay, go ahead. Make the roll, good sir. Good ma'am.
2 successes.
You. The man before you, although seems rather calm, cool, collected, his emotions are ranging from tense to controlled to I gotta do the to very not distressed but very conflicted in his actions and it he's not exactly lying up at the helicopter, but he's not exactly telling the whole truth either.
I don't see how that helps me. What am I gonna do? Report you to your superior? Be like, oh, hello, I'm the reality terrorist he made a deal with. I know he's been a naughty boy.
Fair enough. Hmm. I can simply leave this paper here, sign it over to you, and then I get on my little black helicopter and leave. And then I can also go ahead and take this particular property off the places to investigate for rogue agents. And then my investigation goes to Chicago and LA, Houston, Kansas City, Miami, and any other such places that I also have to reclaim properties from.
And step by step, in exact terms, what you want me to do is...
I want you to go back to the place that you picked up that shitty little helmet, and turn off the machine that's currently waking in a chaos dragon.
Can you give me any more information about this place? And what the thing is? Fucking damn it. That
helmet you got to go to video game land and that you picked up from that place. Yes, we were watching that place. Yes. You went inside of it. You came out with a helmet. I'm not sure exactly what you did in there or what porns it is, but inside there, again, and something was left on, something that was supposed to be turned off, something that we couldn't get to in time, and something that is, well, kind of running the clock at this point.
This is all you're asking me to do. You don't want me to interfere with anybody else for you.
For now,
For now.
we could always renew the contract, and you could be paid handsomely for further services if you so wish.
But you're not going to continue to blackmail me for my building.
Not for this building, no. The building shall be yours. The various accounts once that do this well, Mr. Arnold will had created for himself overseas in a nation and will be seized. But this building shall be yours.
And the reality deviance of New York. If I do this one thing for you, as long as we don't attack you, will you leave us alone?
As long as you do not do anything foolish to gain attention to yourselves, like blow yourself up in a building. I see no reason to come goose stepping in and with to riot gear and such and such and such, such and such and such. Consider this also a throw-in as a mutual ceasefire, unless, well, you want to blow yourself up again.
No. There are things out there that are bad for humanity that I think we both hate.
Fair enough. As long as you do it quietly, I have no reason to stop you. No reason to at all. In fact, I have all the reason to pay you to do it.
Is there a way we can make this a binding agreement?
Which agreement? The agreement to forward you the building, or the agreement to a temporary ceasefire?
Why not both?
You see, I don't actually have the authority to grant a ceasefire, but I will promise. But I can tell you that I will not me and my needs department within the New York City. They will not actively pursue any reality defense for the time being, unless of course you make us.
Tell me,
Yeah?
can you step inside for a minute? I want to talk to you.
Tommy will look at the accountant.
By all means, talk to your advisors. Consider the opportunity of a mutual flanking against the monsters of the world.
She'll step inside and sort of usher or beckon Tommy over.
Right.
Ken, for his part, goes outside, and now he's the one next to the, I mean, for lack of a better term, I'd call it a bodyguard, apprentice, something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the right lines.
Yeah, and now that he's outside the room where they said he couldn't smoke, he's going to stand next to her and smoke.
The bodyguard put out her hands, briefly pull back to reveal a pinky and a brief light.
He accepts that. Thanks.
Tommy will politely excuse herself and go see what Maggie wants. We have the exact words of the agreement.
This is a bad idea, and you know it's a bad idea.
Any direction we can go at this point is a bad idea. I'm trying to choose the one that lets us keep our home.
You're going to let him strong-arm us. Do we even know if he actually has the FBI on his side? Or was Rupert really tangled up in some criminal shit?
I know for certain that Rupert had a past with those people. I know that he was entangled in criminal affairs. All of this I know without some guy in a suit coming to tell me.
Look, today it's switching off something in video game land, whatever the hell he means by that. Tomorrow it could be bring us Olaf's head.
They'd have to make a separate deal for that. One that I can turn down.
Do you even know what machine he's talking about?
Yeah. He wants us to go back to the cyber realm.
And Chaos Dragon?
We fought something like it when we were there.
Alright then. We're gonna have to fight his battles for him because he doesn't want that. He doesn't He doesn't want whatever that thing is getting loose, which means that it's probably a tough nut to crack, right?
Most likely.
So we'll do it for him. He has to give us, obviously, what you want. But he has to equip us to fight this thing, because I'm not going in there and watching people die.
Tommy will nod.
And whatever he gives us is completely clean. No tracking devices, no monitoring, mundane, technological, or magical.
Alright. Let's go negotiate. And, Tommy will, unless Maggie has anything else to say, she's going to head back out to where the technocrats and the Akashic are chilling.
She'll just take Tommy's hand as she sort of walks away and just give her a look. Just...
By the way, kid.
Yes.
While you're out there, the bodyguard seems to favor you and agree it did not favor. She did not favor Tommy.
Son of a bitch.
Ken doesn't do much about that. He is trying to be polite. He's just trying to be out there, and more importantly, he's trying to grab a cigarette. If she actually tries to ask him out, or God knows what else, he will politely decline.
She doesn't really speak in words, as it were, but she does sort of motioning at your hand and with her head. One second. No, I got something but header.
Okay.
One sec. That was actually a reply to a message we got from my Facebook real quick. She seems to favor you and sort of wants to get in between your arm and body, so trying to nestle herself within your armpit.
In which case, given that, oh my, that's hilarious. He ends up in the most interesting of positions because yes, he has this robot killer woman all over him, but anyone like from the outside looking in can tell that he more looks awkward than interested. It's like, what do I even do with this person who probably is made of like 35% weaponry?
She speaks a word to you. It's cold out here.
Do you want to borrow my hoodie? Okay, here. And he shoves the. I mean, there's only literally a pack of cigarettes in there. Otherwise, you're inheriting pocket lint. And hoodie's empty. And he gives her the hoodie. Underneath, he's just wearing a plain button-up shirt.
Okay. In that case, the, bodyguard, to half human, half woman, and is, rather happy with the new jacket she just acquired. And you told me you come back to the scene as I described it.
Tomi raises an eyebrow at this beautiful budding relationship, but she is not the master of what Ken sticks his dick in. He is the master of his own dick. So she will just sit back down.
The man knows the accountant is patiently sitting, not really doing too much else, reviewing some of his notepad and smiling a bit. The first smile he's had in a long time.
Right? She gives him a bit of a smile, too. It's less genuine, but she's kind of trying to make this not the worst day of both of their lives.
That shit-eating grin.
Not quite shit-eating, but more like, yeah, I know this sucks. This sucks for both of us, but smiles. Alright. Let's draft a contract.
I'm glad we could talk. I'm glad we are coming to some terms, as he says, as he sort of shifting away in his briefcase. He goes in, he puts his hand in there, and then he puts his hand deeper, and then deeper, and deeper, deeper, as the briefcase is almost swallowing his arm, for lack of a better word. And see, right, pulls it out quickly, here. And there seems to be some printing apparatus seems to be printing away furiously at it. But for the most part, the words just seem to be appearing in a print face. Like, you know, when the thing goes, the printer of fax goes, that's happening.
Tomi will watch. We're willing to work with the terms, but we need you to arm us.
Oh, interesting. He sort of looks up. Lucy, go get package C. The bodyguard weakly takes a step back from a awkward embrace with Ken. Looks upwards and brings out what looks like to be a pointer, or clicks it in Morse code again. Within some time, there seems to be a case, a duffel bag is pushed out. Lands with a very, very solid thud.
That stuff needs to be clean. No tracers, no monitoring devices of any kind. Magical, technological, mundane, nothing.
How do you track non-consecutive bills, ma'am? Anyone want me to
Maggie,
do a perception plus awareness real quick?
sure.
Perception awareness, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me consult my handy-dandy sheet.
I have a success.
I have
There's
two.
something. You have to? Okay. There's something magical in that bag. You tell me, there's an item inside of it which is magical. It seems to be pulsating with energy. As the woman goes ahead and reaches it and sort of puts the hand in the zipper, looks at all of you.
What is that?
It's Let's see, how do I explain this? It's hold on a second. Give the SG some time to think about this real quick. So I had a word for it too. Is the current budget for one mission such as this. If you allow my to open it.
Is there anything else inside that case besides money?
Oh, but don't you know, money is power.
Yeah, I know that. Leave it. For now.
Are you sure?
I don't fully trust you yet.
It would be foolish to trust someone you've just met. Although I feel like we've had an eternity of experiences here. What with the dread, the antagonism, the sharing of terms, the little back and forth, the explaining of viewpoints. Means I consider you plus one acquaintance.
Fair enough.
Now, he says, first time getting up, and looks at the glass. You should really get this cleaned up. As he makes his way over to the ladder and attempts to climb it if no one's stopping him.
Does he left a copy of our agreement, right?
Signed, sealed, and delivered. Right there on the
Is
table.
there anything on there that says that he has to be alive for us to cash in on it?
Are you about to do something?
I'm asking if that's all in the contract.
It is not specifically within the contract. But there is the idea that should the first party be indisposed, the fourth unstated party but understood party would accept the conditions of the contract upheld.
Can we write down the exact wording of this contract so I can read it?
Oh, yeah, sure. Basically what it boils down to is...
Not the exact words.
I know. Basically what it means. And actually, do you have any law?
I believe I do, actually.
Maggie's
Go
got
ahead
some.
and roll it.
Oh no, I
Roll it.
don't.
What am I rolling with it?
Juve intelligence?
Can I do academics?
Yeah, sure, that works too. There's a lot of academic wording, but it's basically a law document. For law, it's going to be difficulty 5. For academics, it's going to be difficulty 7.
Willpower.
Successes?
2 successes.
Okay. It basically goes down and lists several different parties and such. But what it basically boils down to is that so the building is signed over to you. Its location shall not be disclosed to other people or things, and will not be entered in any databases. Will be pulled from certain databases for privacy reasons. And in return, you or anyone that is working for you shall go to the cyber realm and take care of the problem, or go through the adventure. That is the stipulation. And give a slight reward back stating that, yeah, you've done this, with a incorporating number to associate itself with. A Dropbox. Yeah, there we go. A Dropbox location.
Maggie's urge to off this guy is at a fever pitch right now over that empathetic link.
Tommy's sort of reminding her that if we kill him, we're kind of ruining any possibility of any sort of deal or ceasefire immediately. And he knows where we live.
You get a meh back.
Giant government agency. Giant. Big. Little mages. Little group of mages. Big government agency. Little group of mages.
Bitch, I'm the head. I'm an HBIC. But she'll relent. She's just.
Is his friend going with him, or is she going on a date with Ken?
The woman is just going to wait very patiently for the man to climb the ladder. Put her arm within the ladder itself. Actually, she's still holding her right arm out, but she's hooking her left arm within the ladder itself, holding on very tightly as the non-hearing the helicopter slowly starts to drift away.
We haven't signed it yet. We still have time to talk about it, but this is our agreement. She holds up the contract.
After the helicopter and the woman attached to it are long gone, along with one of like upwards of 15 hoodies.
She stole it.
Oh yeah, she totally stole it. It's okay. There was a sale. He has many like it.
I mean, to be fair, you don't give a woman your coat and expect to ever get it back.
Oh yeah. So he just kind of watches that hoodie drift away, and then it only dawns on him when like there's a dot on the horizon. I think he was hitting on me.
Pretty sure she was part machine. I wouldn't worry about it, Ken.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe she has a vibrate function.
Just gonna smack Toby upside the head.
Ow!
You know, our lives are pretty simple. Our lives are pretty cool. We had freedom to do whatever we want. And now, because of this building, now we have to worry about friggin' Agent Dick over there possibly screwing us over, possibly finagling us in some way that we have to end up killing our friends, or at the very least, potentially spying on them.
Yeah,
because of this
and
building.
a while ago we had normal, mundane lives, and now we're mages, and sometimes we can sneeze and blow up buildings. So, she shrugs.
You
You
know,
take the victories you can get.
it's starting to occur to me that the more I hang around you guys, the lower my chances of survival get. As he
Welcome to the fucking club, Ken. Get used to it.
Hey, being in a group has its downsides. Has its upsides, too.
I never said I was in your group. As he like continues smoking the cigarette on the balcony specifically.
Yeah, you kind of are
In case-
now.
You are
In
now.
case anyone forgot, I'm a monk. I do monk things.
And you're our monk now.
You want to join our cabal?
I'm gonna have to pass this by some people.
Yeah, you don't have to leave your chantry, but it's good to have friends, even if they're dangerous friends. Even if they're drug-addicted friends, even if they're friends who almost stabbed you in an alleyway once. Friends are friends.
Drug addicted.
Right.
Nice.
Which one of you is the drug addict?
All of us. Let's be real.
Oh, great. That's fine. You ever want to talk about, I don't know, Buddha? I'm not even sure what kind of monk I am half the time.
You'll figure it out, dude. We all figure it out eventually.
Battering ram.
Maggie's
Anyways,
gonna pick up the battery out of her pocket and just look at it. So what the fuck was this all about? And she'll hold up the battery she has.
Tomi'll take hers out as well and hold it up. I don't know. Just seemed like a good luck charm.
Actually, is Alaric part of your cabal? I don't really know how he relates to you guys.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's part of my cabal. He's part of the chantry too. He's my apprentice.
Oh. Okay, I'll join your cabal.
Cool.
I'm perception emptying the shit out of that.
Oh yeah, go for it, please.
Sure, why not?
Nope.
Nice.
These ones today are just brutal.
Tomi knows all the boners that happen in her chantry. All of them.
Okay. So for Tomi at some point in her life might have engaged in some sort of hobby, mostly in the interest of attracting the attention of someone she liked.
Yeah.
I don't pretend to know her life, but this might have happened at some point. Yeah, that's what you're looking at right now.
Well then, we have a contract. We have some things. Let's wait for Alaric to get back, and we'll discuss it like a real cabal.
Okay. You currently have two elements before you. You have the paper, which is the implied contract with all the stipulations aside of it, and you also have the bag.
Maggie's gonna grab the bag, open it, and look into it.
Boom! All of you guys died. There's a fireball inside. Good job,
Yeah,
guys.
right.
Reroll.
Now that's
Okay.
the story I was expecting.
Okay. Inside you find stacks and stacks of cold hard cash.
Holy fuck! Are her actual words. She'll quickly grab the bag up and carry it inside, and then just dump it out onto the coffee table.
You have a bit of prime, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll your prime nuts.
I'm gonna do that too.
Ah, shit, that's way too many.
If it's prime, no.
3 successes.
I don't think I have any.
Okay. Do. This thing is infused with the prime element, the fuel of the crystals, and all that other her honky horse shit.
She's gonna reach in and touch some of the bills.
They vibrate with reality, and you feel like you could pull from them. Actually, you feel like you could literally pull reality into yourself through those bills.
She does so.
You do it with the first one, and as you do it, the integrity of the bill, the integrity of the money of the block that you're holding dissipates into all but ash.
Maggie's going to look at this thing, then feel that surge of quintessence, and then... Does she have enough... I mean, 2 dots of mage lore enough to know that that's Tass?
Yep.
He just gave us a bag full of Tass.
Shit. Well, I guess that's a good sign.
Now, it is understood that you can... Okay. Me talking to DSD real quick. You can use this money to buy yourself some equipment, or you can use it as quintessence. The problem is that you can only go one of either direction. If you spend it, you don't have the quintessence. If you gain the quintessence, you don't have the money.
Is that a decision we have to make up for the whole bag, or is that, for each stack?
I'm gonna make this easy for everyone and say that he has produced to you 5 points of task, and I'm gonna let these 5 points be in addition into the one you just absorbed into yourself. So 6 points of task total. You just ate 1.
All right. How much money is in that bag?
Enough to buy a few resource 2 items to outfit 2 or 3 people, or enough to grab 1 really big purchase.
It's a lot of money, Tommy. And that's a fair amount of quintessence. Considering we don't have a node.
Yeah. This will be a huge fucking help.
You have a safe?
Yeah. I have one in the penthouse.
Good. She'll sit back, let out a breath. This day is just getting better and better.
Ken finishes his cigarette, and he doesn't just leave it out on the balcony. He trash cans it once he's in there, and looks at the others. You do realize, and I'm just throwing this out there, that someone who's obviously willing to act around and maybe even against the interests of his mother organization won't think twice about killing all of us, yes?
Yeah, that's something that had crossed my mind, but you always back your sister's play, no matter how many times she plays a shitty hand.
Look. If we're anything, we're survivors. Whatever they throw at us, we'll survive it. It might be shitty. This might turn out to bite us in the ass 1 billion times over. But any decision we could possibly make now will do just the same. And a deal with the devil is better than no deal at all.
I'm just going to say this one time, but this building isn't going to give you Rupert back. And clinging to it like it might bring your downfall about. You know that, right? And you're pulling not just me, but anybody else who gives a fuck about you down with it, if that's what it does.
Tommy just clenches her jaw. We'll have a meeting about this later.
Ken goes and makes coffee. Right now, it's the best thing he could think to do.
Maggie's going to the bathroom.
Well, there'll be a cup of coffee waiting for her. So it's just him and Tommy.
Tommy is going to hold on to that contract.
Okay. Coffee's there if she wants it. Ken, however, he's interested in his cup of coffee.
She'll look over it, dig around in all the shit, and find one of the old briefcases that Rupert used to use. She'll stow it in there. And just keep it by her side. Well, she looks up at Ken, sort of smiles. Welcome to the family.
Thanks. I won't preach at you unless you want me to.
Go for it.
Okay. You're saying that this group here, us, I guess, now that it includes me, we're your family, right?
Sorry,
Well,
what?
Okay. Did it just break up or something?
A little bit.
Okay. I got this. So you're saying that this group here, which I guess includes me now, are your family, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we blew up the windows, a real big deal about your home, this location, this place, that frankly you can replace anytime you want. But I can tell you right now that whatever you're planning, whatever you're thinking about, you're not going to bring back the dead. This could easily get all of us killed. A building's a building. We can blow it up today, live somewhere else tomorrow. It's an item. Your attachment to items is going to put us all in danger.
She nods.
By the way, Bob, Buddhist as fuck right there.
I know.
Thanks. I want to try this. See if we can't make this work somehow. But if I get in too deep with these technocrats, I need you and Maggie to pull me out, no matter what I say.
Ken thinks back, and for Tomei, you can see that you hit some sort of piece of his memory that he suddenly becomes quite enthralled in. So he's there for a moment. And when he comes back to the conversation, just don't forget, no matter how powerful you become, you're still human.
Maggie comes out at that point and flops onto the couch with a smile on her face and just sits back.
Do we still have our empathetic link up?
Yeah, we do.
Are you high?
She's fucking high as a kite right now.
Tommy looks at Maggie, and you do feel like that disappointment, but she sighs and sort of runs her hand through her hair. Friends are good. Even if they're high as fuck. Even if they're too materialistic for their own good. Even if they're a weird, wayward kung fu master.
Maggie's just gonna lean over and wrap her arms around Tommy's waist and just set against her.
Okay. Where would you guys like this to head? In what direction? I only say this because I've got like a few days here where I can sort of fuck around with time. My time schedule is kind of open at the moment.
Well, aside from a certain thing that Shelby and I are doing, I got nothing for the next couple days.
I'm kind of weird and flighty because I'm still in Seattle, but just like shoot me messages and I'll tell you whether or not I'm available.
Okay.
Constant flux, my good sir.
Yeah.
All right. For right now, the scene is as is. There is currently an unsigned document that seems to have some very powerful implications. There is a suitcase full of money that itself is just fuel for more power. And we have a bunch of very confused and misguided reality deviants that one accountant has taken upon himself to give a guiding light to sort of impart some knowledge, he thinks, as he's quietly being whisked away in his black helicopter after he thinks briefly to himself. Either A, they take the deal, or B, the police storm the place. Is Monday. Sounds like a good day for me. As we will bring this scene to a close. Now, I'd like to ask everyone briefly, what are they thinking? What are they feeling?
Tommy is pretty stressed about this. She thinks that it's worth a try because she really, really wants to protect her home, but she hasn't forgotten the things that both Maggie and Ken warned her about. The moment she needs another drink.
Maggie, for her part, after the empathetic link is shut down, is going to do something really, really foolish.
Um, Ken. Ken, who started this arc out as a very angry and confused and terrified young man, just this ball of like conflicting emotions. In the middle of this entire storm, very oddly finds himself not necessarily at home, but a lot more anchored than perhaps he once was. And this forces him to wonder, well, maybe what he needed was to meet someone, or rather something, that long ago was just like him. So he thinks about this presence named Jericho and what the real purpose of it meeting him was.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
Maggie loves her family way too much.
Yes, Maggie's a crazy and deranged fool that loves her family.
Oh, it
Austin,
is.
you got anything? Austin, you got anything for us?
Well, I have nothing personal to say at this very, very moment. I think all these characters have come to their own conclusions about various different things, but you could always cheat. Cheating is definitely something you guys can do. You're all mages. Just throwing it out there.
Yes. Cheat, be cheated, cheated, all within the various different possibilities. But I will bring this scene to a close, as somewhat climactically as it were, with the page still there, very much a forefront, of everyone's thoughts and feelings. Very much seems to have presented itself its own little shrine or enchantments or place of power, as it were, or in the middle of the living room. Everyone trying to forget it, but it always is just